Hello everyone out there. How are you all doing? I am Kate Hill, bringing you the best, unbiased and honest content on property, along with fantastic hints and tips and news. Stay tuned today for a little update on Victoria's latest land tax grab. Victoria's state budget recently included a new policy that would see land taxes temporarily increase over the next 10 years, which, according to some experts, will ultimately hurt property owners and tenants, and I don't disagree. The state government also plans to cut the tax-free threshold from land tax from $300,000 to $50,000. This change will see additional annual payments of $500 for properties up to $100,000 in value and around $975 for those up to $300,000 in value. That's land value, of course. Now, properties exceeding $300,000 in land value will see annual land tax rise by $975 plus 0.1% of the value of the land over that threshold. This was announced together with the changes to stamp duty for non-residential properties. Pexa chief economist said that while stamp duty reforms are welcome, the COVID debt levy for residential housing through the changes in land tax will see many landowners and renters bear added financial burden, of course. Now, Pexa, for those who don't know, stands for Property Exchange Australia and is an electronic lodgement network. They basically do all the settlements. The newly announced levy has the potential to add directly to rental inflation, as landlords will try and recoup the increased costs, only adding to the state's housing affordability crisis for residential property investors and renters, Pexa said. I agree. Overall, the changes will increase the annual land tax paid by an estimated 860,000 Victorian landowners, including people who own more than one home, with 380,000 landowners now paying land tax for the first time as the threshold was reduced. If landlords were to pass on the full cost of this levy, that could mean an extra $1,000 a year in rental payments for Victorian tenants every year over the next decade, Pexa said. Property Investor Council of Australia, Pexa, said that the new policy on land tax will result in very hard-working Victorians paying for the government's incompetence for decades. This is what happens, they said, when you have so much debt as well as continued economic mismanagement and self-serving governments, they said. Victorians will be paying for the government's incompetence for not just years, but for decades. An investor with land holdings of around $1 million will pay around $2,000 in extra payments per year, or about $20,000 over the next decade. Now, this figure will continue to increase along with land values, of course, throughout the period time. Anyone looking to buy property in Victoria will simply look elsewhere, because this policy says that Victoria is closed for business, said Pexa. Borderless investors will simply shop elsewhere in other states where they are not being slugged by high stamp duty and land taxes, which have a huge detrimental impact on rental supply. The Property Investment Professionals of Australia, PIPA, said that the new land tax grab seems to be modelled on the Queensland government's similarly failed policy last year. They were trying to do something similar. It does seem like the Victorian government has taken an illogical page out of the Queensland government's ill-fated and investor-focused land tax playbook from last year, and we all know how that worked out for them. They had to backtrack, Pippa said. The absurd policy will no doubt lead to the exodus of investors in Victoria, who are already struggling with significantly higher mortgage repayments that dwarf any increases in rent over the past year. Pippa said it is illogical for any state government to implement policies that will actually only worsen the critical undersupply of rental properties. Now, this is yet another example of politicians having zero understanding of how bad policies impact investor behaviour, especially those aspirational and hard-working property owners who are said to be slugged the most by the latest financial impost. I will keep you posted as always on all things property from around Australia as our year progresses. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you all again really soon. Bye.